Curses, curses, curses. We all know about it, but do we really believe it? From haunted dresses to evil spirits locked in boxes, objects that are said to carry a curse are sometimes as strange as the story behind them. I'm your host Andrew, and I'm here to talk about the top 10 cursed objects, scary urban legends. Coming in at number 10, we have the baker's wedding dress. This dress belonged to Anna Baker, who was a part of a wealthy family located in Altoona, Pennsylvania. They would reside in what is known as the Baker Mansion in 1849. Which is the same year Anna fell in love with a man and planned to get married, but her father Elias was like, no, not happening. It's believed he said that because he was a part of a different social class. He didn't want this marriage to happen so bad, he even got the man banished from town. Anna was heartbroken and begged her dad, but her dad just kept telling her no. She then went out of her way to buy her own dress, like the one in the photo, and then showed her father, and he still was very adamant on saying no. So in spite of her father, she never married even till after his death. Fast forward all the way to 1922, all the members of the Baker family passed away, and the mansion had been bought by the Blair County Historical Society and turned into a museum. In the museum, guests reported seeing the glass of the dress being shaken violently. Others report seeing a woman apparition in a black dress staring into this display. Perhaps it's Anna from the grave, but we'll never know. Stealing our number 9 spot, we have the woman from Lem statue. Often regarded as the goddess of death, this stone figurine was most likely a fertility statue. Most of its features wore away by the time it was uncovered in Lem Cyprus in 1878. But that didn't stop it from becoming one of the most cursed objects in history. Lord Elephant, no, not an actual elephant. Well, he was the statue's first owner, and after a brief moment with the statue, he, along with 6 family members, would meet their demise. The same thing would happen to the figure's next owners, including the last Sir Alan Beaverbrook. He and his wife, along with his daughters, passed away shortly after taking possession of the statue. His remaining sons then donated the statue to a museum where the curator would also pass away shortly after touching it. Now the statue is kept behind a glass and nowhere close to being touched in the future again. Coming at number 8, we have the Dybbic Box. The Dybbic Box is a wine cabinet claimed to be haunted by a Dybbic. If you don't know what a Dybbic is basically a malicious possessing spirit believed to be the lost soul of a person who passed away. This mahogany box was then auctioned off by eBay owner Kevin Manis. It was said that the box had origins to Jews in the Holocaust and would often radiate paranormal activity. It gained so much fame that it even inspired the 2012 horror film, The Possession. Just like in the movie, the box contained a Dybbic, and if opened, will release a spirit, causing a chain reaction of misfortune and illnesses. Surprisingly, at our number 7 spot, we have an elephant's foot. This is both a curse and a natural phenomenon, and you'll see why. On April 26, 1986, Unit 4 of the Chernobyl plant exploded during a test of the turbine's generation systems.
Some of them will not stop firing for 50,000 years.
The air above the plant was being poisoned, and all the rods inside of the generator started to melt down through its protective container.
I'm pleased to report that the situation in Chernobyl is stable.
This would create a mass known as the elephant's foot. This radioactive blob was only discovered months after, and at this point, it was estimated to weigh around 11 tons and is said to be the most dangerous object on Earth. You don't believe me? Well, here's a fun fact. Well, not really. But everyone who came into contact with the foot or took photos of it passed away shortly after.
You're dead.
To this day, there's no way to get rid of it, so they just built a protective cover over it, and it's just kind of laying there forever waiting for its next victims. At our number 6 spot, we have a cursed number. This wasn't exactly an object, but a phone number. But who knows, maybe the devil has a phone. The numbers 088888888 have been linked to so many deaths that has been suspended completely from being used. The phone number was created in 2001 by a Bulgarian mobile company called Mobitel. And this number was used by the owner and CEO of that company, Vladimir Grashnov. He ended up passing away of cancer that same year, but others suspect he was radioactively poisoned by a business rival. The number was then transferred to a mob boss in 2003. He then got shot and passed away while he was out at a regular dinner with his own family. Then the last person to have this number was a Bulgarian again, but he was a businessman who was then shot and passed away in 2005. Mobitel has now suspended the number from being used forever. So do you think the deaths are a mere coincidence, or is it proof of a cell phone curse? Right in the hump of our list, we have the Belcourt Castle chairs. These haunted chairs located in Belfort Castle in Rhode Island are more commonly known as a salt chair / throne. This is because people used to store salt in this chair as it was a valuable form of trading back then. However, after many years of being in the same spot, visitors would begin to notice that whenever they would go near the chairs, their hands would start to feel cold and prickly. And if someone tries to sit in the chair, invisible resistance could be felt. In one strange case, a man was actually thrown out of the chair when he attempted to sit on it. Legends say the spirit of the owner is stuck inside the chair after he faced a terrible death, which was taking a spear right in the eye. I know, it's pretty gruesome. You probably heard this one, but at our number 4 spot, we have the Terracotta Army. This is a one-of-a-kind 2,200-year-old funerary art. The Terracotta Army is considered the most priceless archaeological discovery of modern times. However, for those 7 farmers who discovered it back in 1974, the warriors have proved more of a curse than a blessing. Soon after the discovery, their farmlands were claimed by the government and all of their homes were demolished to make way for exhibition halls and various gift shops. Upon the 7, one took their own life while the others passed away tragically since they couldn't even afford healthcare. All the way at our number 3 spot, we have the Cursed Mirror. Located in a historical home and former plantation, the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana is considered one of the most haunted places in America. There are many creepy urban legends surrounding the property, but the tale of the Cursed Mirror is probably one of the most famous. According to the legend, the former owner of the house, Sarah Woodruff, and her 2 daughters were poisoned by their slave and trapped inside the mirror. Visitors of the house reporting seeing handprints, strange marks, and even figures dressed in an old-fashioned clothes lurking around the mirror. Coming at number 2, and you probably know this one, but we have Annabelle. I know you heard this one, but it's just too good of a cursed item to leave out of this list. For those who don't know, the doll's name is Annabelle, which comes from an alleged girl who possesses it. In the early 1970s, a young college student named Donna gave the doll to Ed and Lorraine Warren, a now famous pair of paranormal investigators. Originally, Donna sold the doll as a gift from her mother, who purchased it at an antique shop. Over time, Donna and her roommate quickly noticed that the doll had a tendency to move around the apartment and be in weird positions like upright and its leg crossed. After more paranormal activity, the girls contacted the Warrens, who decided the doll contained a demon straight out of hell. When an exorcism failed to do the trick, the Warrens agreed to move the doll to a secure location inside of a glass box at their museum in Connecticut. Now, you can go to the museum and check this doll out. Coming in at our number 1 spot of our list, we have the Vasano Vase. This vase is a pretty little thing and old too. Casted from silver in the 15th century and produced in a simple design, it is one of the most mysterious and elusive haunted objects of all time. Originally, the vase was a wedding present for an Italian bride who lived in a small village close to Napoli. On the woman's wedding night, she was found slowly passing away on the floor, and her hands were wrapped tightly around the silver vase, and in her dying breaths, the bride vowed to have her revenge and then passed away. Ever since, every single owner of the vase has passed away tragically and in mysterious ways. It was hidden away for some time until it finally got auctioned. Upon looking into the vase, there was a small note saying, quote, "Beware, this vase brings death," was found. It was sold 3 different times in different auctions, but every owner would pass away shortly after, which would pass along the vase from owner to owner. Eventually, it was buried, and now no one knows where it's located. Well, there we have it. These are the top 10 cursed objects, scary urban legends. So what do you guys think about this list? If there's anything that surprised you, please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. I'm your host, Andrew, and I hope you have a scary day.